Welcome back to Grade Podcast for some questions with my very dear friend Jeff Siewert from Bulletology. Here's some questions that viewers have submitted, and see if we can't just have some shenanigans with all of it. Jeff, is there a best bullet or caliber? One that has maximum impact on target or least affected by external winds, humidities, factors like that?
If you had to pick one, it would probably be 338 something. Now, it could be Lapua, it could be Norma. Those, for something that can actually be fired by a human, those bullets are probably the least affected by externals.
Question number 2. So if you're using a lighter bullet, we'll go with a 55 grain 223, and it tumbles on impact.
Yeah.
Do we need to then be concerned with overpenetration or anything, thinking like a home defense kind of thing?
So those bullets tumble in denser media because of the gyro stability equation we reviewed previously. The low transverse inertia enables the bullet to tumble quickly. Do we still have to worry about overpenetration? The answer is it depends on what it's hitting.
Yeah.
So if it's drywall, problem. If it's 2x4s, probably less of an issue.
Safety glass through a car.
Same idea.
Yeah. Ooh. All right, this is a question from somebody else. This is not a question from me, because I know better. But if someone's been taught to never hunt a deer with anything smaller than a 30-06, is that an old wives' tale, or is there some logic to it?
I gave a lot of thought to this question.
Okay.
And I think the answer has got multiple facets to it. I think back in the day, bullet quality wasn't as good as it is these days. And so the only way to ensure that you had sufficient expansion, terminal effect capability was to shoot with very high recoiling cartridge. Today, the bullets have been worked on from a terminal effects standpoint much more than they had previously. And so I don't think you need anything near a 30-06 to reliably take down the weight. Last year I used 6.5 Creedmoor. That's more than enough. 243 is more than enough. It's all about shot placement. Where do you put the bullet?
Shot placement, and as well as, I'll say, where you're hunting, right? So some of the hunting you're doing out in Colorado, big wide open spaces, you don't necessarily have to worry about pulling up and taking a shot through a little brush or something. But if you're out here hunting,
Yeah.
we go through the scrub woods there, or in that thick stuff that we used to go through.
Don't get me started on brush bucking, because it won't end well.
Okay, all right, moving on. Why do so many manufacturers make the same caliber? Example, 6.5 Creedmoor, 6.5 Mauser, Grendel, Weatherby. They're the same caliber but different?
It's all marketing.
It's all marketing.
Largely.
Okay.
Largely. Now, when like 6.5 Creedmoor was developed, they specifically wanted to have more aerodynamic efficiency. That means a longer bullet. That means a faster twist. There's no getting around. You need a new cartridge.
Mm-hmm.
For the other guys who don't know any of the history, you need enough twist to make the bullet gyro stable.
Is there any spot where they're trying to lay claim to their version of it? Like, they have a slightly different bullet shape or anything?
That differences in bullet shape would affect, say, the forcing cone geometry and how much free run they had to the start of engraving would affect those parameters.
Mm-hmm.
And then, what velocity you want to launch at, that affects the size of the cartridge case. How much powder can you put in the can? That sort of thing.
Okay. Very good.
Hope that answers the question.
If I shoot the same round, 308, from a 20-inch AR-10 versus 20-inch bolt action, can I expect to see different behaviors purely based on the action type? If you're shooting the same round, same blast.
I would tell you no.
No?
I would tell you no. The only differences that you're going to see are differences related to the differences in the bore dimensions. So if the say for the example, the bolt gun has a slightly smaller land diameter, you're going to see better, smaller groups as a result of that, and you may see higher pressure / velocity as a result of higher engraving forces.
Okay.
So, but otherwise, all done, apples to apples, you shouldn't see any difference.
Very good.
With one caveat.
Uh-oh.
Caveat being, with a gas gun, as the bullet passes the gas port, that barrel's going to bend at the gas port, which means you might expect slightly increased group size as a result.
Okay. That, like, the bend or
The bend of the
bullet,
barrel.
the barrel whip kind of
The barrel motion, the transverse barrel motion.
is going to be much different on the gas gun setup
Yep.
versus the bolt gun setup.
Yep.
Gotcha. Is bullet rise a myth? Does it happen if I aim my rifle above a perfect horizontal level plane?
It's not a myth, it's a real deal.
That's what I would have thought.
Yeah, I mean, kind of has to be. If you're, if your bore is below the scope, which most of them are.
Is there some that aren't?
I don't think so.
Okay. Okay.
And your bullet's going to hit, let's pick a number, 2 inches high at 100 yards. The barrel has to be slightly angled up. And how big's that angle? It's pretty doggone tiny.
Yeah.
Like 0.05 degrees. It's not very big. But bullets rise when they come out of the tube.
It has to.
Because the bore is pointed up.
What is the Coriolis effect? And at what distance is that something I have to take into effect?
Well, the distance at which you have to worry about it is very, very, very long range. Like, I seem to recall numbers on the order of maybe 18 inches to 2 feet at 2 kilometers. So it's not a big factor, and the bullet's got to be the target's got to be a long way away for you to worry about.
Mm-hmm.
It arises from the Earth rotating underneath the bullet in flight. And so in the northern hemisphere, because of the rotation of the Earth, if you fire due north or due south, the bullet is going to land to the right as a result of the Earth's rotation under the bullet.
After you fire the shot, the bullet's not actually where it was when you fired it, but it hits.
Well,
further distance out it goes, the more it actually matters.
So it's a matter of latitude. Okay.
Yeah.
So because the Earth is a sphere-ish kind of thing.
Well, maybe some people.
Almost. Some people flat. We might say that. But okay. So with different latitudes, the rotation rate is different at a lower. It's higher at a lower latitude than it is at a higher latitude. So the rotation, the cross velocity from that Earth rotation is more
Sure.
at the lower latitude.
lower.
That means the bullet's got a higher cross velocity relative to the target at the higher altitude. It's going to hit to the right.
Gotcha.
Okay. And perversely, a similar sort of thing happens if you're at the higher latitude firing south, directly south.
Gotcha.
The effect is flipped in the southern hemisphere.
Yep.
The bullet hits to the left.
Put you on the spot here. Do you know through your entire life what's the furthest you hit?
On targets or
On targets.
On critters.
On targets, because I know you and your morals, and you probably have taken a lot longer shots on targets than you have on critters.
I have, on a business trip to Hornaday back in 2014, I shot 10-inch gongs at out to 1,000 yards.
Yeah.
And yeah, you got to worry about like winds are a big deal.
Yeah.
Even if they're directly behind you.
Yeah. Pretty good.
They are.
So next question. What is the best bullet and rifle combination that you've had experience with? I'll put this in a little bit of context just to help you out, and we will break it into two different combinations.
Okay.
If you were to do like a target shooting competition, what would be your go-to versus, we'll say, a North America big game hunting, what's your go-to?
I have a Ruger precision rifle and 6.5 Creedmoor that shoots really small groups. That if I was going to do target shooting, that's what I would be using.
Okay.
And I've used that, as I mentioned, on that business trip out to 1,000 yards. And I need to explore more of that. I was like, yeah, I got to do it, and then it hasn't happened yet. But in terms of hunting
Critters, let's say you don't have to worry about lugging this thing up the mountain.
Okay.
Just what gun would be your go-to if you had to?
does it bite or scratch or stomp?
No, just something you're going after eating.
Okay. I have
Going after elk. I know elk's your favorite.
Yeah. I have a Remington 700 Sendero and 300 Ultramag, and that's my go-to for big game.
For big game. Wonderful. Speaking of hunting, should I try to tune my rifle for a specific bullet, specific distance? What's the distance that maybe you should try to tune it for if you do want to tune it?
I think we need more information.
Need more context?
On the tune. Yeah, we're not talking muzzle tuners, I hope. Those things are garbage.
Okay, good. More along the lines, I'm thinking like
develop the
load for your rifle, for your barrel, for your setup in whatever chassis or whatever you decide.
Yeah, you definitely want to do that. Definitely want to do that. And it's worth playing around. It's worth good. I mean, the differences in one powder charge versus the next, or one seating depth versus the next, are not going to be as dramatic as you would expect looking at your 5-shot or 3-shot groups. It's really, really tough to develop a good load using only a few shots. I think it's damn near impossible.
Would you suggest trying to develop the load just on shot groups, or are you taking it to the next level of chronograph and all that?
I think a chronograph is a great tool. Everyone should use one if you have the means to acquire one. Velocity standard deviation under 15 feet a second is pretty good. And again, that's for a large number of shots, like something north of 15.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Does that answer the question?
It does. It answers my question.
Okay.
If it doesn't answer their questions,
They can write.
they'll have to write in.
They'll have to pass through.
How about muzzle devices? How much does a muzzle device affect the bullets, we'll say, coming out of rifles? Do you have to re-zero?
Absolutely. Absolutely. If there's a weight hung on the end of the barrel, that causes the barrel to bend.
Yep.
I have data on 15 sniper rifles for the government, and to a barrel, there was about a 1 milliradian displacement vertically in the mean impact point as a result of putting that weight on the muzzle. So the answer is yes, you're going to have to re-zero.
Dispersion, 1 millimeter dispersion,
1
or
milliradian.
1 milliradian dispersion, only vertical?
Not dispersion, not group size, mean point of impact shift,
Okay, but only vertical.
but only vertical.
So
There was some small horizontal, but I'm trying to remember if it was repeatable. I don't recall.
but it's something that you could essentially easily account for just by re-zeroing.
Absolutely.
Good. What is the trend with polymer bullets? Why are they becoming relevant? Why do we care? Is there?
So I worked on a polymer bullet once upon a time,
I remember.
and it didn't end well. Basically, they are a solution to a problem with regard to heavy metal contamination.
Okay.
Okay, and the one I worked on was basically copper fines in a plastic polymer matrix. And just because the people that provided the bullet treated them like little lumps of metal, and they didn't know anything about aerodynamics, there was some serious dispersion troubles with those bullets.
Mm-hmm.
The dispersion was roughly 2-inch extreme spread at 50 yards and about 3 feet at 100. Never seen a problem like that before. We did end up getting to the bottom of the problem, told them what the fix was, and they decided to bury their head in the sand and not pursue the fix.
So just move on.
Yep.
For you to say you've never seen that before is quite a statement if you missed the last podcast, because we're talking about a career that dates back to 1979.
That's correct.
Yeah. Wait.
Never seen it again since either. Okay.
One last question here, unless I come up with some of my own. Who knows?
All right.
What advice would you give to someone who's looking to get into precision shooting? What are some of the pitfalls to avoid?
Don't overspend on gear. Choose a widely known and widely available cartridge. Get some reasonably inexpensive reloading gear and read as much as you can. Those would be the nuggets I'd tell people.
Mm-hmm. It's right along the same nuggets that we generally would give out in these podcasts. Like,
Cool.
You can't outspend your practice or your training.
Yep.
Go seek out knowledge. You don't need the biggest, best gear. You just need to be good with it.
And you need to practice with it. And practice is the long pole in the tent, in my opinion. That ammo that's over there,
Mm-hmm.
that stuff shoots pretty good. I mean, not as good as my reloads, but not bad. I mean, you wouldn't kick it out of bed for eating crackers. That's good.
Is there a major pitfall that pops out to you when somebody starts going that? Is it just chasing the new thing and not finding a good starting point and sticking with that to learn?
My experience has been, I trust people's observations on particular items. Test this, experiment that, blah, blah, blah. Don't trust the conclusions.
Okay.
Okay?
Verify, trust but verify kind of thing?
More a matter of, this happens because of umpty-ump. That might not be the whole picture.
Yeah.
That's what I got.
Which is an intriguing point coming specifically from you, where you're spent a career surrounded by people that their job is eliminating variables to come up with real good solutions, and still yet you're skeptical.
I have seen enough and been around enough that I don't trust conclusions. I trust observations.
Very good. That's it for this episode of Match Grade Podcast. I'd like to thank you very much for coming.
Thanks for having me.
I was very pleased when I extended the invitation. I knew you'd take me up on it. It's been a pleasure knowing you my entire life and picking your brains as I've gone through my shooting career. If you want to pick Jeff's brain, check out his book on Amazon and where else?
Barnes & Noble.
Barnes & Noble, and website.
www.bulletology.com.
And if all else fails, feel free to ask comments in the YouTube video. Check out the next Match Grade podcasts and all of our other great ones, especially the ones with me.